What's good, what's good, what's good? You are now watching Jupiter Sports Show. I am your host. Wait a minute. See, this is why we shouldn't smoke before the show, because hold up, I just noticed it's using the wrong camera. Hey, what's happening? How you doing up there? All right. Let's change the lighting a little bit. We gotta change the lighting. Looking a little too bright. Too bright. Too dark. All right, where's there it is. All right. That's too bright. Too dark. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, you're the squad's in the building. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. But was fixing my lighting. How's it look to y'all? Hope it looks great. Get like we always do. You're looking for a clean, no crash, genderless energy drink. Go to dubby.com. You got an app too, w.com. Use promo code JUK Jupe to get you right. And it's always on the tip or on the bottom. But if you're here, go over to YouTube, type in Juke Network, JUK Network, subscribe over there. Goose Podcast officially greenlit. We going, we rocking. I got a new cannabis review video I'm about to drop, and stay tuned with the Juke Sports Show. But subscribe over there. Follow me at KYNGRALPH on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, at an underscore for Twitter. And go over to Facebook and type in Juke Network as well. Help us get to 100 followers. Once I get to 100 followers, I'll be able to go live straight from the Juke Network page instead of using the He Say, She Say channel page. But hey, we in this thing. We got a good show ahead of us, and let's jump in. So Tua Tagovailoa doing his pre-training camp interviews, press conference type shit. He was asked about Tyreek Hill, and if you didn't follow the situation, at the end of last season, Tyreek Hill was frustrated, didn't have that great of a year statistically. Some people said he fell off. Well, whatever it was, he was frustrated. They didn't make the playoffs, and he said pretty much, get me out of here. I want to play winning football, which is something I can't do here. Even if you're sending a shot to the organization, I can see why the players would feel away. So, do you respect Tagovailoa Tua for standing on business? Because when asked about it, he pretty much said, like, when you break the trust of your teammates like that, you don't just get to just walk back in and say, my bad, and act like everything is straight. So, obviously, there was players that felt away, or at least he felt away, and he has the respect of the team and respect of the person to be able to say that out loud to the media. So I give him a lot of respect because I do think that these are okay. Hey, shout out. I will. It's actually, the link is actually on Twitter. Not Twitter, but it's on Instagram right now. I got it on my story. You can find it there. But I'm being show right now, so I'm not able to do it now. But I would if I could. Hey, thanks for pulling up, love. But yeah, I respect Tua for standing on business and being able to call him out. I think that at the end of the day, when you're the leader or one of the leaders, you gotta be able to be comfortable having the uncomfortable conversations. And so I'm sure for him to go out in the press and in the media and make that statement, I feel like he's at least had the conversation with Tyreek Hill previous to this. So I don't blame him. I don't have a problem with him saying it. I think that when you got to think about the things that you say, even when you're frustrated. Because one thing for me, I know me personally, and this is just life, is I don't buy the whole like, oh, where they were just mad or they were just drunk conversation. I feel like a lot of times the the drunk actions are just sober thoughts. And so I feel like people are just genuinely being themselves. And so sometimes you got to think about the way you're conveying a message because you can come off with so much brutal honesty that you're not necessarily being uh, 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 attentive to how people may feel about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, but yeah, so I think that doing what done, what he did, standing on business, letting it be known like, hey, he's gonna have to put the work in order to gain the trust back of the players. But he's here working, he's giving an effort, and so what happened here. And I think that that's the uh, a great mark of leadership through because honestly, I've been kind of hard onto it to be honest with you, but I do feel like I just didn't like the whole getting that type of money. Um, I feel like he's a good quarterback, but I wouldn't say he's a great one. And I just think for the sake of we can't just be paying everybody 50, $60 million just because they play quarterback. When I wouldn't necessarily say that he's top 10. Was my own thing. But I think he's a good, solid quarterback. You give him some weapons that he can get the ball to. He's very accurate. He just be able to stay on the but if he's on the field, then the team suffers. And that's one of those things that if he's not on the field, then Tyreek Hill suffers too. And at this point in his career, he's definitely shown that you can't just throw anybody out there and expect the same output. All right, all right. So on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, DeMarcus Cousins was on that podcast, and they were talking about the 2016 men's national team and how they felt like that team was very underrated. So let's go through the squad. Let's look and see did they win gold. All right, all right. Did they win gold? Yes, they did win gold as well. So I'm getting into the squad. So Melo, KD, Paul George, Draymond Green, Clay, Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, DeMarcus Cousins, DeAndre Jordan, Kyle Lowry, Harrison Barnes. I do think that this team is very underrated in a sense. When they talk about the teams over the last 20 years, they never really mentioned that squad. Although, for the sake of just straight up hooping, I think that Melo, KD, Draymond, DeMarcus, and then any kind of rendition of Kyrie, Clay, and Paul George all on the same floor at the same time, like DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond. And then at that point, with the squad that you have and the versatility, you could put Melo and KD in the same lineup with a Kyrie. And then you let Draymond play point forward again, let him do what he do and get the rock to people, bro. It's so many buckets in the way that they were winning that I do think that they're very underrated. I don't know if I put them like in the same conversation with the Redeem team or the Dream team. I don't know if I'm going that far with it. I don't know if they beat. I don't know. I don't know if they beat the team that just won gold. They beat 2024 gold medal team. So I don't know. I think that it's one of them things that they have a lot of talent and they can put up points with the best of them. But do I think that they are in category as the Redeem team or even the 2024 team? No. Although you are getting like a Melo that can still get buckets. You're getting a KD, a Paul George that's still athletic. You're getting a prime DeMarcus Cousins. I feel like most of the best best players are either entering their prime or in their prime when this happens. So I just feel like the team that you're getting, where this as much as the dream team, we want to sit here and talk about like thinking about them all at their peaks. Where at that time they were not at their peaks. So I think we got to at least start to think about where they were there at the time at which we start talking about these rosters. And so the Bengals finally signed Shamar Stewart. He was at practice today, or at training camp today, or I think yesterday. Looks like Trey Hendrickson is about to come back and end his holdout as well. So are the Bengals finally turning things around? And to keep it a buck, to keep it a thou, keep it a stack. Um, I don't think that it really matters to keep it a buck with you. To be honest with you, I don't think that these moves make their defense that. Now losing them was going to be a big deal if you were not able to sign Shamar Stewart, or if you're not able to sign or bring back a Trey Hendrickson who leads the league in sacks over the last 2-3 years. Like your defense is going to suffer. So, but I don't think that Shamar Stewart makes that much of a difference to where, because Trey Hendrickson was there last year, that defense was still trash. And I feel like they didn't make enough moves to get better unless like certain players just make a jump for being in a new defense, because they did bring in a bunch of new pieces, Geno Stone included. But I think their defense is still mid. So I don't know, unless the football gods start to bless them and their ball bounces a certain way for them to be able to win these close games. I just don't see them making that much of an impact on defense that you would end up being like super excited that they made these moves today. Great for the sake of being able to stay competitive, because losing them would have been hell. But I don't know. I just don't see it making that much of a difference. All right. And top 10 edge rushers. So I'm going to go off the list. And I did the same thing last week with the wide receivers, NFL executives, scouts, compiled a list. And these are the top 10 edge rushers in the NFL as by ESPN. So we got Jared Verse at 10, Daniil Hunter at 9, his teammate Will Anderson at 8, Aiden Hutchinson at 7, Trey Henderson at 6, Nick Bosa at 5, my boy Max Crosby at 4, Michael Parsons at 3, TJ Watt at 2, Myles Garrett at 1. Honestly, for me, as much as like I want to sit here and I just got done talking about how much of an impact player that Trey Hendrickson is. I want to argue him in the top 5, but I just feel like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Michael Parsons, Max Crosby, and Nick Bosa, I just don't see. He's so good at getting after the quarterback, but they're all 5 of their versatilities to be able to really do anything on the football field, being able to get after the quarterback, being able to stop the run, impact plays, reading the offense, and being able to stop plays in the backfield, strip sacks, tackles for loss. I just feel like I can't really argue that. I'm pretty much going to say this might be a rare time where I agree with everything, because I do think that Trey Hendrickson is definitely the next person after that. Um, Aiden Hutchinson at 7. Don't have a problem with that. He's a baller. Jared Verse, I could see him being higher, but he was a rookie. So, and I just got done talking about how I'm not going to give rookies this high praise off rip. Now, keep doing what you're doing. Just feel like it's a little early for him to be top 10. But when we really start to have the conversation, if you take him out, who are you putting in there? And so let me see if I can find where I got this list from. Right, top 10 edge rushers. See if there was any honorable mentions. All right, so Brian Burns, Nick Bonito from the Broncos, Jonathan Greenard from Minnesota, George Karlaftis. He's actually kind of nice. I ain't gonna hold you. He be doing some damage as a person that hates the Chiefs, and I see them play twice a year. Yeah, he does his thing. Um, the only one, honestly, that I would probably put in here, I could say, like I just got done saying, um, Brian Burns. I could see a world where he would be ranked higher than Jared Verse, but I just think that the year that Jared Verse had, and there's what was I think my man's name, Terran Armstead, pretty much said that he retired because of Jared Verse. He was like, I don't have to see that motherfucker on Sundays no more. And so off that, the strength alone, and Armstead was a great tackle for a lot of years. I'm gonna put Jared Verse in the top 10, but I can see a world where Brian Burns ends up being in someone's top 10. It's just hard for me to put Daniil Hunter, the longevity he's had. He's had a 5-year stretch where he's been that guy, and Will Anderson is getting to it. So it's hard for me to take Brian Burns off of it because I question his you're thanks for pulling up, brodies. I question his ability to stop the run at the level that some of the guys before I mentioned. So that's the reason why I'm cool with Jared Verse being at the top 10. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with this top 10 with Jared Verse, Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson at 8, Aiden Hutchinson at 7, Trey Hendrickson at 6, Nick Bosa at 5, Max Crosby at 3, at 4, um, Michael Parsons at 3, J. Watt at 2, Myles Garrett at 1, because I think that Myles Garrett is the most complete edge rusher that there is in football. His ability to do everything. He can line up as a straight up edge rusher at the 3-4. You can put him on the end 4-3. He play tackle, and he could be a nose guard. Like I just feel like at the end of the day, what that man can do on the football field and the size and athleticism, and it's just like nobody this large should be able to move this fast. TJ Watt does his thing every year. I definitely see him being 2. Me personally, I believe Max Crosby is the third best the edge rusher. I feel like Michael Parsons is too wishy-washy. I feel like talent-wise, he's more talented. Just natural God-given ability than Max Crosby. But I just feel like Max Crosby is, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna put Max at 3, riding for my boy. But so Max Crosby at 3. I said it right the first time, actually. Michael Parsons at 4. Nick Bosa, he's such a heck of a good football player. I say Mr. himself. I can't stand it, but it is what it is. This nigga talking. This nigga having conversation in the comments is crazy. Hey, I fuck with it though. But yeah, so Jared Verse at 10, Daniil Hunter at 9, Will Anderson at 8, Aiden Hutchinson at 7, Trey Hendrickson at 6, Nick Bosa at 5, Michael Parsons at 4, Max Crosby at 3, TJ Watt at 2, Myles Garrett at 1. And fast break. Gotta pull up on a fast break. We got like 10 minutes left. So KD did was there during the interview and they asked him his Mount Rushmore. His Mount Rushmore consisted of Larry Bird, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and himself. I think they had to make a Mount Rushmore that included him. So I feel like he got it all right except for Kawhi Leonard. I feel like Kawhi Kawhi Leonard is the perfect example, and it's tough to rate him because he's the perfect example of if this person didn't get hurt or wasn't always hurt. Because right now, or like what his game is, his ability to defend on ball, off ball, strong as an ox, could get to his spot, knock the mid range down at a high clip. He could very well end up being a 90, 50, 40 type of dude. It just depends on what his free throw percentage is like. But I can definitely see him. He's that efficient. But so at his peak, I would take him over a Scottie Pippen. But if I had to take career for career, yeah, give me Scottie. At least I know Scottie is going to be healthy. Any given night, I could put him on a plethora of defenders from 4 all the way to 1, maybe even some 5s, depending on if you got a small ball lineup. And I think that what Scottie Pippen was able to do is just it should never be forgotten. And yes, I do think that Mike is the GOAT, but I do think that you got to be able to have a running mate in the end. Nobody, if you go through history, has been able to win one championship, let alone multiple championships, without having a Hall of Fame uh, running mate. It is what it is. And so I think to punish Scottie for what he was able for having Mike is not necessarily fair, and I don't think it's fair to punish Mike for having Scottie. So I would agree, KD definitely is in that top 3 small forward conversation. I appreciate him putting Larry Bird in there because Larry Bird and what he was able to do and who he was, like, bro, that hit from French Lick was crazy. And I think his game is one of those games that would transfer. It doesn't really matter the era. The ability to shoot, the ability of being a 6'9" ball handler, regardless of him being he got that thing on the string, but he can at least be able to work angles and get to a spot, and he's tall enough to get his shot off where he shoots above his head as well. And then LeBron, he's obviously the best small forward of all time. So there's no arguing that. But me personally, I would have had KD, LeBron, Larry Bird, as well as Scottie Pippen instead of Kawhi Leonard. Man, my aces, I really hope that they prove me wrong when it comes to this. So maybe this is a little bit of a like, I just hate seeing it. We struggle when it comes to playing like the best teams in the W. We giving some work out to the Sparks right now. So we up by 15, ending the third. But can they turn it around, man? I don't know, man. There's this. I feel like in the end, I think they might be able. I think they will turn the season around and make the playoffs. I just don't see us beating like the Lynx or the Liberty right now with the way we're playing. Jewel Lloyd the other night, I think the last game she played in, 0 points on like 0 for 10 shooting. Like what? Like what are we doing? Like how did we get here? And then losing Kelsey, but we're shutting her down right now. So that's making me feel a little better about the situation. But I don't know, man. It makes me nervous. While talking about it, Cameron Brink is back after 13 months tearing her ACL. She is back on the court. Let's see what she got. What she got? So they got her coming off the bench. She's played about 8 minutes. She's hit 1 3, 2 rebounds. Just getting acclimated back. Seeing her back on the court. She's a unicorn type. She's a tall, lanky, off the dribble, can shoot, block shots as well. I just feel like she's a phenomenal basketball player. Putting her back with that team where you got a Kelsey Plum, Derica Hembry, you got Rakia Jackson. I think you got a little something there. If she can get a couple games under her legs and really start to hit form. If she can hit her form, hey, you might have something. But right now, I just don't necessarily see. Let's look and see what's the schedule like for them. So so the Sparks are 11-14. So I think they're about halfway through the season, I would say. 25. I think they got about 10 more games left. They should. So if they can really come back and do some work, she get her feet wet, get her legs underneath her, get a good amount of games and get some confidence going into the playoffs. They could be a team that could really fuck some shit up, to be honest with you. But the Aces is winning right now. We putting belt to ass. Shout out to Luca for finally getting it together and getting in the gym. He's no more tubby butt, but it ain't gonna matter if he don't play no defense. Like I don't care how in shape you are. If you don't have the want to play defense, it's not gonna work. And he needs to have the want to play defense, or you're just gonna end up having the same issues you had before. So yeah, it's great that he's getting in the gym and Men's Health magazine. The article's cool. I was fucking with it. It's good to see him looking slim and in shape. But I hope I hope Zion can get on the same thing. To be honest with you, I want to see it. I want to see them do well. But my man had zero want to play defense. Like I get it if it's like, man, you trying, but you just out of shape. But like my man is laying people to the rim. It's like, ain't no way, bro. Yeah, nah. So if he don't play defense, then it ain't gonna work. And then shout out to Flage. I fuck with Shorty. I watched her Club Shay Shay interview. Good interview. She's entertaining, funny. It's good to see people's personalities at times. But she was asked, does she believe WNBA players can beat NBA players in a one-on-one matchup? And thank you for being honest, because I just feel like it's much. I love Asia Wilson. I love Asia. Love Asia Wilson. But she's a 6'4" power forward. If I put her up against a men's power forward, like even Bam, if I put her up against Bam Adebayo, no, after a while, there's nothing that she can do with him. Like, it's not really fair. So I think that the best bet that women do have is to go like guard for guard, but you would need to find like someone who's like more of a bigger guard in a women's sport against like a smaller guard of the men's sport. Because they got 6'8" point guards. And Flage is supposed to be a point guard as well. Paige Beckers is a point guard. And Paige is 6 foot, Caitlin is 6 foot. They're not really going to be able to do much with some of these point guards in the NBA. I just like think about like Paige versus like a Darius Garland. I just don't see it happening, G. Like I'm sorry. I love Paige. And I think she's a bucket. She's a hooper. She's a gamer. But we got to start being real with ourselves. Like 3-point contest, you got a shot because if you can shoot, you can shoot. It don't matter what you shooting with and what you shooting on. But when the physicality, the athleticism, and just pure size and strength is going to be too much. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get that back on here. While you're here, if you're still here, make sure you go on Juke Network on YouTube and subscribe over there. Juke Network, JUK Network, on Facebook as well. Help me get to 100 followers on that. You can follow me at KYNGRALPH on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, at _for extra Twitter, and follow us as well at Juke Sports Show on Instagram. I'm out of here. You can catch the audio only version of the podcast in the morning. Peace.